All right, I wanted to do a top 10 albums for myself of 2017. Now, I'm not going to make this long, but I do want to put on the screen what are some of the barometers that I look at when I'm judging an album. First and foremost, you got to please your core audience. Number two, you got to deliver. You got to have some sort of a message in it. So I need the delivery and the message to be on point. Number three, you got to have some sort of a hit. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be a radio, but there has to be a song or two that the masses respect. And when they come as a collective, they want to listen to this record. Number four, you got to tour and perform the records. One part of the process that I think a lot of artists are missing is you just can't put out music and go away. People want to connect with you, get to know the you behind the music. And number five is impact and moment. Now, I know every album that comes out is not going to have impact, but for this list specifically, since we're doing it in a mainstream world, everybody doesn't follow me from one city to the next. You know what I'm saying? We got to kind of space this thing out because my audience is growing. 100K and striving, right? You got to have some sort of an impact the moment to make this list. Now, I do want to say there are a lot of projects that fell short of the list by just this much. The Fab and Jada project, The Friday on Elm Street was close. I love that one a lot. Again, there's a lot of great music that came out in 2017. Rick Ross is Rather You Than Me. It was close. I'll tell you one that wasn't close. Drake's More Life had no chance of ever making the list. But nevertheless, let's get into some of my top 10 favorite albums. At number 10, I'm going to go 21 Savage and Offset, Without Warning. All right? Listen, salute to the two for coming together and making this collab project. I was not a fan of the whole collab wave. I thought a lot of garbage music came out of that. I thought the Future and Thug project, for the most part, wasn't for me. The Super Slimy junk. I thought the Quavo and Travis Scott that just released a week or so ago was not for me. I thought out of the best Down South collab tapes, this was the one. Rap Save Me is one of my favorite records. I thought the Ric Flair Drip was a pretty dope record. And I thought the joint where they're honoring like the Wu-Tang was a pretty dope record as well. The first three records are tough out of the gate. I thought 21 Savage starred in this project. And it was a dope one. It was a dope collab project. It was the dopest of the ones that came out. Salute to Metro on the production. At number 9, I'm going to keep it in Atlanta. I'm going to go 2 Chainz. Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. I fought with this one back and forth. Was it going to be on my list or not? Listen, 2 Chainz had a phenomenal year. I thought 2 Chainz has done what most artists are incapable of doing. In his latter part of his career, he's consistently finding ways to revitalize his campaign, to come up with new ways to cook up his formula, and it's working. He had hits, by the way. The Good Drink was a hit. That was on 2 Chainz's album. The 4 a.m. was a hit. That was on 2 Chainz's album with Travis Scott. The Real Lives was a dope record. The Big Amount was a kind of a hit. It's a Vibe was probably his biggest off the project. I like the Rolls Royce joint. I like the Sleep When You Die as motivation for me. The Trap Check was a good one. The Blue Cheese was a dope one. This is a top 10 album off sheer performance of the records. He performed them in a wheelchair. This is a top 10 album. He has hits. This is a top 10 album because the brother had impact. You know what I'm saying? Some of these records are in the mix anytime you go down south. 2 Chainz did one for his core. I mean, he crossed all the T's for me. I'm cool with 2 Chainz being on this list. At number 9, let's keep it moving. At number 8, I'm going to go Moneybagg Yo Heartless. Now, I know this probably won't make a lot of people's lists. And I know I'm probably being a homer with Memphis. And I'm fine with that. Listen, if you go listen to this project pound for pound, it is more than just another down south artist making a project that's talking about selling dope in and out the spot a lot of the time. You know what I mean? It is more than that. Moneybagg Yo has some lyrical content. And I think what Moneybagg Yo has for himself going more than a lot of other artists, his core demographic, if you go to a show, is women. No Love, huge record for him and his demographic. The Don't Know, it literally carried his shows for a lot of 2017. The Yesterday joint with Lil Durk was cool with me. The Real Me, this is right here is The Real Me. The Pride was a dope record. The All This Money Got Me Nonchalant. I'm the freshest in this junk. Hey, I give it a, then I'm out of that. Dope record. So what did he do? He pleased his core audience. It didn't have the impact. He performed these records at a great level for a down south artist. He had a couple down south hits, and I think it's worthy of being at number 8 on this list. And I'll admit there might be a little bias because I'm from Memphis and because I rock with him homie heavy. At number 7, SZA. Now, fellas, hold your horses. You can stay with me. This joint ain't for me. This project ain't for me. This is about a side chick talking about how she deserves to be the main chick. How she got these dudes going crazy on the weekend. Then she throwing them away and giving, you know what I mean? Telling the main chick, it ain't for me. But what we cannot do is ignore the songwriting on this project between the Love Galore record and The Weeknd. The Supermodel joint is dope. The Drew Barrymore is a dope record. The Doves in the Wind, you know what I mean? SZA produced on a well-written album. Ladies and gentlemen, if we're talking hip-hop and R&B, I don't care how you craft your list. If you don't have SZA in your top 10, I have to judge your list. I'm not a fan of this type of music, but The Weeknd was one of the best written records in 2017. Don't like the message in it personally, but it was one of the best written records in 2017. And SZA had a wave. Don't sleep. She had a moment in the year. I gotta give her credit. Now, Future. I did not enjoy the self-entitled Future project. I'm going to be the first to admit that. It was not one of my favorites. I really wasn't a mask off guy. If it came on in the club, I'll bump it for a couple minutes, you know what I mean? But honestly, that project was not for me. The one that was the Hendrix one, the second one of the two. That was a phenomenal R&B album. I really believe Future is holding back from us, man. Future has another level that he can take his music, and it's with R&B. So at 6, I got this Hendrix project. It's deep, man. Future's opening it up about a lot of problems, a lot of issues that he might have. The incredible, huge record for him. The Selfish with Rihanna. I thought it was one of the most slept on records of the year. It should have been a huge hit. I don't know what happened, but Selfish was a phenomenal record. Coming out strong with The Weeknd, phenomenal record. I mean, top to bottom, there's a lot of great music on this project. It is one of my top 10 of the year. Easily. At number 5, I got Meek Mill's Wins and Losses. Listen, say what you want about Meek Mill, but the brother is the best at making radio music. He is a phenomenal artist. I think he still represents a huge portion of the black community. I think he's talking about his daily struggles with trying to figure stuff out himself. Like some of the wins and losses, some of the losses were self-inflicted wounds. He admits it. It's a dope project. I thought it was one of those records where you're not gonna have a ton of hits on it, but if you listen to the music, Meek still gets busy, man. The record with Young Thug, one of my favorite. We Ball, one of my favorite records of 2017. He had some street classics on. He had the Whatever You Need, the one for the radio. I really thought this was one of Meek Mill's best projects. And that Ball Player joint with Quavo, hit the bell, I wanna yell. I thought it had a chance to be a hit. Poorly promoted. Salute to Meek Mill. Wins and Losses, though. One of the best projects of the year. At number 4, I thought long and hard about this one. I'm going to give it to Big Sean. I decided. Listen, I'm a selfish Big Sean fan. I want better than I decided. But we're not going to act like this wasn't a great album. Listen, it came out early in the year, so I know a lot of guys might have forgot about it. But Big Sean is still putting his heart and soul in his music. I love anyone that's opening up and telling you, I'm doing this for my family. I'm trying to find ways to stay motivated. I wanted to do it for my family. When records like Sacrifices, you hear him talk about what he had to sacrifice to get to this point. He lost homies. Inspire me. This is Big Sean telling me where he's at with it in life. What inspires him? What keeps him going? The Bigger Than Me joint with the Flint Choir, which is just dope with it and with itself. This is Big Sean talking about the fact that it's bigger than me at this point. My career, my everything, my life, it's bigger than me. I got to do this for a whole generation. I didn't like the mainstream stuff, and that's why it's only at 4. I did not like the searching for the hit. Like Bounce Back was not one of my favorite Big Sean records. I didn't really like the joint with him, but I really love the back part of this project. That's why it's on my top 10 at number 4. At number 3, Migos Culture. Listen, if you want to go by my list, did the Migos please their core audience? Yes. Did the Migos deliver a message? We know they making trap bangers. Kind of, sort of. Did they have the hits? 100% the Migos had the hits on the Culture 2 or the Culture joint. And we got Culture 2 on the way. Listen, man, go up and down this project. There is hit after hit after hit on this record. You look in the clubs, right? The Migos, they're about 15 to 20% of the records you hear in the clubs. They're just that impactful. Look up and down this project. What records didn't go? The T-shirt one went. Carl Caston went. Bad and Bougie was the #1 record in the country for a while. Get Right With You went. Slippery with Gucci Mane. It went for a while. Big on Big. I really like that record. What the Price? It was in the clubs. Listen, you say what you want about the Migos. They got hits after hits after hits. And we also have to give them credit because they perform their records year round. And when I talk about impact and moment, right? So it doesn't just have to mean you're conscious in the black community or you're making some sort of like black statement, right? They have an impact. Bad and Bougie was a moment in the culture, period. The Migos are #3 on my list. At #2, and any other year, this would have been the #1 album. This was my favorite project of the year, personally. Jay-Z's 444. What did this album not have? It had vulnerability. It had opening up and admitting your truth. That's all I ask of my artists. Just live out your truth so nobody else can use it against you. Jay-Z opened up about cheating on his wife, Beyonce. He said, I almost went Eric Benet. He telling you, nigga, never go Eric Benet. I appreciate Hov for this project. I appreciate him talking about his kids. I appreciate the conversations he had with himself on the project. On the intro to Kill Jay-Z joint, he's talking about, look, I'm the fool. No, I'm not blaming Kanye or blaming anybody. I gave him 20 million. I'm the fool. He gave me, 20 minutes on stage? What was he thinking? I'm the fool. He opened up about his family. He talked about his mom coming out and owning her sexuality. What did this project not have? This is the street gangster rapper Hov saying, look, if this is it from Hov, this is a phenomenal Allah. This is a phenomenal round of applause, top of a career. This had everything. This is the street gangster rapper who used to sell cocaine, who used to sell dope to the max. At the end of his career, saying, look, I've been through a lot of shit. And I'm finally at a point where I can say, look, a lot of it, I was wrong. The cheating, a lot of my life made me who I was, and that's not right. And I almost lost my family of it. Jay-Z's 444 is the #2 project of 2017 for me. It delivered with pleasing his core audience. I don't know a whole fan who wasn't happy with this project. Delivery, message, I cheated on my wife. I suck as a human being. I almost lost her. Don't be me. Hits, not so much, but this man has records that's going to be around for decades. Tour, performed the records. That man got on stage for a whole tour and told everybody I was the fool for cheating on Beyonce. This definitely was an impact in the moment. I don't even got to discuss that with you. It's Hov. It's going to forever be a moment with a lot of us. Kendrick Lamar Damn is my #1 project of the year. Listen, I battled back with this one in 444, but I got to give Kendrick Lamar credit. Now, actually, out of Kendrick Lamar's previous project, this one might be the least message driven. We got to give it time, a couple years maybe down the line to see if we come back and look at this project and say, yo, the message really was crazy on this one. But because Kendrick doesn't do a lot of interviews, a lot of people were not able to ask about the overall just what were, you know what I'm saying? We have records that had impact in them, but just going song for song like a good kid, Mad City, that told us a story in every song of the project. This one, the message was kind of confusing. We had stories. We learned a lot about, just a lot about Kendrick's dad and Top Dog. I'm with it. But here's what put Kendrick Lamar album over the top for me. The amount of hits that this project, and we're talking about big boy hits. DNA is a hit in any level. Loyalty with Rihanna is a hit on every level. Humble is a hit. The lead record of the project is a hit on every record. And my favorite song of 2017, featuring the Zakari, Kendrick Lamar in Love. What a record that is. You can hear any of the 4 records that I just named now. Kendrick Lamar album came out in the spring. Its impact is there. I talked about tour, performing the records. Kendrick Lamar has pretty much performed at every award show you could imagine. He's done his homework. He's at every All-Star game, every boxing event. He's there. He really worked this album, which makes me think we're probably not getting one anytime soon from him. And I'm fine with that. Here's the standard in 2018 for you guys. The top of the top is Kendrick and Hov. That's my top 10 albums of the year 2017. Please share your list in the comment section. I would love to hear it. Kendrick Lamar, the best rapper in the world right now, and he had the best project of 2017 to go with it. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now you're turning up on MrTaliaferro.com, shawty. Yeah.